Well, I would stick the kettle on, but I was just about to go. Where? Nowhere was the answer. I was about to go nowhere, but there was no way I was going to be treated as the tea lady in this whole operation without a proper introduction. A heap of vinyl with names I'd never heard of was stacked in the middle of the brown carpet. The room stank of stale, spilt beer and weed, while a cactus plant we'd named Jarvis Cocker, because it had prickles, looked as gloomy as the winter weather outside. But Tom Farley brightened up everything in my dull-as-dishwater world. Who was he? Why was he here? My brother was in the process of forming some sort of new age rock band, so I gathered they were here to talk business. I'm okay for tea, thank you. Aren't you going to introduce us, Matt? Asked the dreamboat on the sofa, and my mouth dropped open when I heard his voice for the first time. He had the most delicious, gravelly, deep American-Irish accent, which sounded so deeply mysterious in comparison to my own plain old Irish twang. This man, this absolutely gorgeous being, was becoming more appealing by the second. Oh, sorry, this is Tom Farley, our drummer in Deja Vu, said Matthew, finally remembering his manners. He's probably the best drummer in Dublin. Probably the best-looking drummer in Dublin, I'd have added to that sentence. Not that I knew many drummers in Dublin or anywhere else, for that matter. Tom held up his hands in a display of modesty. Tom, this is my sister Charlotte, the bossy baby of the house I was telling you about, said Matthew. I nodded a hello, not knowing whether to thump my brother for calling me bossy, even though it was him telling me to stick the kettle on, or to hug him for bringing this piece of heaven into my life. Then I stuttered out a proper hello and giggled in a girly way that made me want to thump myself. Nice boots, said Tom the drummer, looking me up and down. Snap. He pulled up his faded blue jeans ever so slightly to show off identical cherry-coloured Doc Martens, and my heart sang. It was destiny. It had to be. He ran his fingers through his tousled hair. I may have swooned out loud. I clenched my own empty fingers, wishing they could touch his hair, too. We're holding a meeting here shortly, said Matthew, clearing his throat. You know, about the new band? Ah, that's right, I said, as if I'd forgotten. As if I could forget. Matthew had talked about nothing else except the new band for months now, and had been scouring every avenue for the right talent to join him. Is there anything I can do to help, apart from make tea? Matthew looked at me wide-eyed. No. I knew this was code for, piss away off, sister, or just get the drinks in. But I wasn't taking the hint. You know, I always wanted to play the drums, ever since I saw the gorilla in the chocolate ad banging out the beats to that Phil Collins song, I sighed, leaning on the doorframe. I even pouted a little. Boy, I hadn't flirted like this since forever. Tom laughed, in an endearing way. And Larry Mullen Jr. from U2, of course, I added, trying to redeem myself. He's a really good, drummer too. Matthew was gritting his teeth. I didn't know you wanted to play the drums, Charlotte, he replied swiftly. He seriously looked like he was going to throw something at me now. I do, I lied, knowing I was really pushing the boundaries at this stage. Do you teach drumming, Tom? Tom was still staring back at me, smiling, his chest moving up and down, and I knew for sure now, as much as my brother was about to kill me for my blatant flirting, that Tom liked me as much as I liked him. He slid out of his heavy jacket, and I gulped at the sight of his tanned, toned arms under a khaki-green t-shirt, his gaze never leaving mine with a smile that made my stomach do a backflip. I could certainly try to, teach you, he said, and his voice cracked a little when he spoke. So, you're the budding songwriter then? Matthew was telling me that you... I was just preparing my response when we were both ever so rudely interrupted. I was telling you she writes country songs about men in Stetsons who drink too much beer and break too many hearts.